Have you ever heard breathing? When you're the only one home? Not the creak of a pipe, not the wind outside. I'm talking about deep, guttural breathing coming from inside your walls, because that's how it started for me. And by the end of the night, I wasn't sure if I was going to live to tell this story. It was a Friday night, and my parents were out of town. I had the whole house to myself, which, for a 17-year-old, felt like winning the lottery. I microwaved some pizza, turned on a horror movie, and wrapped myself in a blanket like a cocoon. Classic night in, or so I thought. Around 11:30 p.m., just as the movie got good, I heard a noise. Not from outside, not upstairs. It came from inside the living room wall right behind the couch. A faint, wet sniffing sound, like something was breathing, but not quite human. At first I laughed it off. Old house, probably a mouse. But then it came again. Sniff, sniff, longer, closer. I turned off the TV and leaned my ear against the wall. What I heard nearly stopped my heart. A voice, faint whispering, said,
"He's alone now."
Jumped back, heart hammering. Was someone in the walls? Was I losing my mind? I called out, "Hello." No response. Grabbed a flashlight and walked room to room, checking every closet under every bed. Nothing. But when I returned to the living room, the TV was on again. Only now it was pure static, and on the screen, pale, eyeless, pressed right up against the glass, there was a face, smiling. I turned off the TV. Dead silence. Until I heard its crashing. Not random, rhythmic. From inside the walls, moving, following me. Room to room. I ran upstairs and locked myself in my bedroom. Called my parents, no answer. Called 911 line, busy. What the hell was happening? And came the knock. Not on my bedroom door, from inside the closet. Slow, heavy, deliberate. I stood frozen, staring at the door, whispering again. Closer this time.
"Let me see your face."
I bolted out of the room and down the stairs. Front door deadbolted, chain locked. I fumbled with the lock. Behind me I heard footsteps, but not on the floor, above on the ceiling. I looked up and saw it, something crawling, spider-like, across the ceiling. Long deformed limbs, skin stretched too tight. A face like melted wax, no eyes, just a wide, jagged smile. It hissed my name.
"Michael."
I screamed and ran to the basement, not my smartest move, I know, but my legs moved on instinct. I slammed the basement door shut and flicked on the light, buzzed dimly, then flickered out. I hid behind an old water heater, my breath shallow, my hands shaking. Above me I heard the creak of the floorboards, then silence, too much silence. And then I heard the crawl space door open, the one behind the washing machine, a space no one ever used. I didn't even know it opened. I peeked through the pipes. Something was dragging itself out, not walking, slithering. Its bones cracked as it unfolded into the room. I saw it fully now, 9 feet tall, bent backward, its mouth open sideways, stretching unnaturally wide. It turned its head in my direction, sniffed the air. It knew I was there. I had two choices, freeze and die, or run like hell. So I ran. I burst through the basement door, slammed it behind me, and grabbed the kitchen knife. The creature screamed high-pitched, furious. It came after me, crashing through walls like paper. I made it to the front door and threw it open, but something grabbed my ankle. Its hand, cold, bony, clawed. I stabbed at it blindly and it shrieked, "Let go." I sprinted outside into the street, screaming for help.
"Help me!"
A neighbor's porch light came on. When I turned back toward my house, there was nothing at the door. No damage, no creature. Just an open front door, slowly creaking shut. Cops came, found nothing. No sign of forced entry. They said I must have had a bad dream. My parents don't believe me either. But that night changed me. Because now, sometimes, when I'm alone, I still hear that breathing. From the walls, and sometimes, I swear, I see eyes watching me from the vents. If you've made it this far, thank you. And if you ever hear whispers from your walls, don't ignore them. It might not be your thoughts. They might not even be human. For more true horror stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Darkness never sleeps, and neither do I.